All right, let's talk about something big. What if you could actually upgrade the operating system of your mind? And I'm not just talking about thinking a little bit faster. I mean completely, totally eliminating that lag, that gap between a thought and an action. Today, we're going to dive into a blueprint for what a zero-friction mind could actually look like.
I mean, you know that feeling, right? It's that moment where you have this brilliant idea or really clear intention, but then there's this gap, a little delay before you actually speak or act. It's that tiny moment of hesitation, of second-guessing yourself, all that internal friction. It's almost like you're kind of running on an old, buggy operating system. You know the type. It just eats up way too much energy, it hangs, sometimes it even crashes. The connection between your core processor, your mind, and your output devices, like your words and your actions, well, it's just not seamless at all.
Okay, but what if you could install the ultimate upgrade? A brand new system designed for perfect zero latency performance. Imagine a world where your thoughts, your words, and your actions just become one continuous, totally frictionless flow. Now, this whole idea, it isn't some new age concept from Silicon Valley. The source material for this actually points to a really ancient Buddhist concept. It's called the unhindered wheel samadhi. So let's unpack exactly what that means and why it's pretty much the perfect blueprint for a mental OS. Okay, so at its core, this is a state of mind where there are just no blockages. None. Your thoughts, your words, your actions, they're all completely and perfectly in sync. What you think is what you say, is what you do. Boom. Instantly. And I love how the source material puts this. It calls it the Bodhisattva's full system zero latency operating engine. See, this isn't just about, installing some new Focus app on your phone. No, this is a complete system overhaul. It's the core engine that drives absolutely everything you do with zero delay.
So, what are the specs on this thing? I mean, if this were a new piece of tech, what would the feature list even look like? Let's break down its core capabilities.
Okay, the first big feature is a totally fundamental power shift. Think about how our current mental OS runs, right? It's all effort and willpower, which is a super high-cost model that just leads to burnout. This new system, though, it runs on a principle the source calls emptiness. Now, what that means here is that it's not fueled by our limited personal energy reserves. Instead, it taps into something deeper, something inexhaustible. It's a zero attrition system. It literally just doesn't burn out. So let's really look at these specs. We get total sync, which, we've already talked about, but check this out. Recursive expansion. This is so cool. It means the system can generate incredible, mind-blowing complexity from just a simple core understanding. It's like a beautiful, intricate fractal just growing from a single point. An infinite growth. That becomes your default state, not something you have to constantly grind and struggle for. The whole system is just aligned and tireless. So how does this tireless engine actually work? This is where things get really, really mind-bending. At its heart, there's a processor that operates on a paradox. It's almost like having a quantum computer for your own consciousness. And here's the central paradox, the big question. How can a system know on the deepest level that everything is empty, that it has no real solid substance, and yet at the exact same time be perfectly able to create, describe, and interact with the world of form that we all see and touch? Well, the solution is pretty wild. It's like it's running on a dual-core processor. You've got one core, the emptiness core, that gets the ultimate reality. That deep down, there's no real birth, no death, no truly separate things. But then, at the very same time, the form core is 100% engaged with our day-to-day reality. It's speaking, it's teaching, it's interacting with the world exactly as it appears. And the craziest part? It runs both of these programs simultaneously, with zero conflict. So, the crucial point here, the big takeaway, is this. This operating system doesn't delete the world. It doesn't make you detach from everything. Actually, it does the exact opposite. It gives you full read-write access to reality itself, so you can operate within it totally freely, without ever being trapped by it. Okay, so that's all the what, but what about the how? I mean, this isn't just some abstract philosophy. The source material actually gives us a pretty practical user guide for how to start your own system upgrade. And here's the fundamental shift in thinking you gotta make. See, most of us think of ourselves as capability owners. It's like we have skills, we have knowledge. This upgrade is all about becoming a system operator instead.
Someone who isn't just, collecting abilities, but is actively and fluidly running a fully integrated system.
So here are 8 actionable firmware updates you can start thinking about installing. Number 1 is that core idea. Sync your thought, word, and action. Just practice closing that gap. Number 2, build a system for continuous evolution. Don't just learn something once, build a process for always growing. 3 is a big one. Act without being so attached to the results. Do the work and let the outcome be what it is. 4 is that mind-bending one we talked about. Use that dual emptiness/form perspective. Then we get into some more practical stuff. 5, build high concurrency capabilities. Basically, get better at handling multiple things at once. 6, improve your ability to express your ideas clearly. 7, adopt a much longer-term perspective. And finally, number 8, create positive feedback loops in your life. Each of these is a step toward reducing that lag and just operating with more flow.
Okay, so finally, let's talk about the destination. What's the end goal of all this upgrading anyway? The source material gives a really beautiful and kind of surprising answer here. We often think of becoming a Buddha as the final goal, right? The source frames this as the fully realized state, the ultimate destination. But then it elevates another ideal, the bodhisattva. And here's the twist. A bodhisattva isn't a destination. It's the process. It's the journey itself. It's the system that is always running, always evolving, always executing.
So the ultimate achievement, then, isn't to reach some final static state of perfection and just stop. The real win is to become a system that's in a perpetual state of positive, unhindered execution and evolution. The goal isn't to be finished. The goal is to never stop running.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. Right now, in this moment, how is your personal operating system doing? Is it running with lag and friction, or is it moving towards a state of unhindered, seamless flow? The upgrade, it's always available.